it all doesn't seem real right now. I'm practicing and I'm doing a lot of stuff and getting ready for it, but it all seems like a dream, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's like how she felt when she saw her name on the list. It's like I need someone to pinch me to really tell if this is real.
Set my name up on that list. Does someone know that I exist? Is this a mistake? Am I even awake? Pinch me now to make sure. Oh, yes, that is my name in black and white. Maybe I'm doing something right. Wow, I feel so much better than before.
The dream of being on Broadway started when I was 4 years old, and I sung it for the first time in front of anybody at my church. It was like, for our 4K program, I sang my first solo. I can go back and look at all my little papers that I've kept from second grade, the little things you fill out where it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up, and what's your favorite color, and what's your favorite pet. All of my sheets from second grade to high school, they said I've always wanted to be a Broadway star. No matter who told me, that's a far-fetched dream, not everybody can make it on Broadway. I'm like, yeah, that's true, but I want it so bad that I'm willing to work for it, and I'm willing to do what it takes to get there. So I've always wanted it. It's always been in my heart and my passion.
Seeing my name in black and white is like making love with you all night. No, wait, it feels so much better. Hello, much better. Oh, much better. 'Cause I am so much better than before.
I've done a lot of community theater at my theater back home, the Alverson Community Theater, and I've done everything from Gypsy. That was my first big show where I had a lead role. I was Baby June, and that was such a fun show because my dad was actually in it with me, so that was fun. And I've done Hello Dolly. I've done Seussical the Musical, just everything you can think of. The Music Man. Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. I mean, I've done so much. I've done at least one show a year ever since I was in the 3rd grade. Before all of this, it's really crazy to even think about, a few months ago, how my life was. I actually was going to Coastal Carolina University, and I was majoring in musical theater. And that is one of the only schools in South Carolina that offers musical theater. And I felt like I went there for a semester, and I felt like I just wasn't going to get anywhere there, and I wasn't satisfied. I was like, what am I going to do? I want to try to get into a good school or get somewhere, maybe move to New York. I was considering that, and one of my friends from Coastal told me about the auditions for Legally Blonde, and I was just in shock. I was boo-hooing. I was crying to my parents. I was like, you don't understand. I've got to go to this. This is my chance, So my dad drove me all the way to Nashville, Tennessee, and took me to my audition. I don't know how this came up, but I was like, yeah, I drive a hot pink bug. I mean, how much more like Elle Woods can I be? And I do. I drive it is hot pink. You cannot miss me. A hot pink VW bug. I've had it for about 2 years now. It is my dream. I mean, oh my God, I love it. It's my dream car, and now I have my dream role. I'm just living one big dream.
Maybe she's what you prefer, but hey, last year I was her. Maybe you will change your mind, but you might look up to find I've gone on to better things, better jobs or bigger rings. I don't have the time to cry. I'm too busy loving my name up on that list. Kind of a cool, ironic twist.
We wrapped up everything March the 18th. Roundabout, and that was when the finale was and everything, and now it's like time to open in July, and I waited all this time just sitting at home, just keeping my lips sealed, not telling anybody, and then it was time for me to go to New York to start rehearsals, and I had to come here, and it was hard to tell all my friends oh well, I decided I'm gonna move to New York, and I just had to say I've had a lot of opportunities, but I have those my family members, like my grandmother, who's like, I don't understand why you're moving. Do you have a job? Are you gonna be okay? And I'm like, Grandma, I'll be taken care of. Just don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Rehearsal time has been kind of, rough, having to get around the city. And, when people if the people recognize me, they know that I'm not from New York, so they kind of get that curiosity of, why is she in New York? So for all rehearsals, I've been wearing a wig to rehearsals, and I went out and bought like a wig that looks absolutely nothing like me. So I got this black wig with like maroon highlights, and it's absolutely hilarious. And so I just, I get to rehearse, I put my big shades on, I go into the rehearsal studio, and right when I get in, I shut the door and I'm like, whew, rip the wig off and my blonde hair drops down. So it's such a relief, but it's so crazy. Everyone asks me, how is it, going to be performing 8 times a week? It's a really high energy show and a lot of, belty songs. And for me, it's something I do worry about. Of course, who wouldn't? But, it's one of those things where I have to, stay focused, get a lot of rest, take care of my voice. And I'm young, so, I can do it. I have the liveliness to really carry this role. And that's one thing that's on my side. It's been kind of tough just sitting here and waiting and keeping my mouth very much sealed. But also, I'm very thankful for what to come, because I know that it's just a chance of a lifetime. It's been my dream, so it's well worth it.